Well, welcome back to Game 2.
Game 2.
Yeah, playing What a Cowboy. Steve this time has joined me up here, and we've just set up a table, which you can kind of just see in the corner of the shot there. And we're going to have another go. We have decided that we're going to play Vendetta rather than rolling for a scenario, because it's a little bit of a different one, and it'll be a bit of fun. So what we're going to do now is we'll show you the table, show you our characters, and then I'll leave the room and Steve will tell you who his Vendetta is against, and then he'll leave the room and I'll come in and I'll tell you who my Vendetta is against, because it's something you've got to keep secret. And the purpose of the game is to make the opposing gang lose their ride or die test, so run away or kill them all, and then at the end you reveal whether you manage to kill your Vendetta character, the character you've got a Vendetta against. So that's the whole thing of the game. Had a lot of fun playing last time, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We did.
Hopefully we won't make the same mistakes that we did last time. There were some quite bad ones, particularly that shooting one. Do you remember? The shooting mistake. It just totally anyway. So, but anyway, got quite good reaction in the video last time. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. Let us know what you think in the comments below. We'll let's show the table off, and then we'll have a look at each of our character lists, which we rolled up last night.
Yes, indeed.
Nice one.
Right.
So here we are in the town of Crystalline again. We have the Orange Peel Saloon, which was being attempted to be burned down last time and was saved by a knife fighter that brought a knife to a gunfight. And we have filled, it's the same matters we had last time, we've filled it up completely, moved things around a little bit, got a few different buildings in. My new Rogan's bar and Bunkum bar, which I only built a couple of months ago, is in. We've got the church in and what have you, so it should be good fun. There's lots of cover, and there is a hangman's noose there waiting for whoever might lose, should these Steve's nasty gang of nasty outlaws and crooks and criminals. Now, one other thing that we are adding in this time is we are going to add in the rules for bystanders. So I've got my box there of bystanders. Those will be kind of like villager miniatures, so we will also scatter those around. So we'll show you how that works, and then place those once we've shown off our lists. So let's just go and do that now. So this is Steve's gang of desperados. Yeah. Who have we got?
Well, we're being led by Big Boy McCoy.
Big Boy McCoy.
Well-known outlaw, gunslinger.
So well known in his own head.
Yeah, indeed. Nerves of steel.
Nice.
Or too stupid to know.
Yeah, Colt and a knife.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he's backed up by Bad Dan McGraw.
They're all bad, aren't they?
Yeah, oh yes, they're all very bad. He's an ex-soldier thrown out for brawling. Oof. So he's joined in with Big Boy McCoy. And the newest man is Abel Kane, which I don't think is his real name. But, he claims to have been a trapper, but a trick shooter, maybe.
We'll find out.
Yes.
So you've got a gunslinger and 2 shootists.
Yes, indeed.
Cool. Right, let's go over to my very peace-loving townfolk. I'll have you know.
That won't save them.
So for me, I went a slightly different way. So we start off with Barleyman Butterbur, the well-known barman. He is an ambidextrous shooter. He's a gun for hire with a shotgun, which makes ambidextrous completely pointless. But the dice talk, and we follow. So yeah, so he can shoot his shotgun with his left or his right hand. Alongside him, we have Frank Beard. Top points to anyone that knows the reference of that name. He is a greenhorn, so yeah, so Barleyman is the only non-greenhorn I've got. I've got a shootist and 3 greenhorns, so it's going to be a little bit of an elite list versus a bunch of beginners. He is a townsperson, but he has Deadeye, which is pretty cool, and he also has a Winchester, so he can basically boss the whole battlefield if he can get high enough, but we shall see. Then my second 2 is Mrs. Smith, who is a shopkeeper. She is a greenhorn and she has a knife. Yes, with no skills. And last but not least, we have Tallulah, the Indian squaw, who is another greenhorn. She claims that she was a miner, but I'm not sure whether she was just a gold digger. And she is a brawler. So those are my 4. And yeah, like we say, we're going to do the Vendetta. So I will now pop this camera onto a stand, point it at Steve and leave the room, and he can tell you all who his Vendetta is against, and then I'll announce mine. And then we'll have a look at our villagers, bystanders, get them set up, and then we'll start the game.
Right, my secret Vendetta is Mrs. Smith. Now, it's not known, but she jilted Big Boy McCoy at the altar, which turned him to a life of crime, and he swore vengeance. If he can't have her, nobody's going to have her.
Right, so frankly, I'd probably want to kill them all, but I think I am going to go for the big man himself, Big Boy McCoy, because Barliman is pretty sure that Big Boy McCoy has been fooling around with Barliman's lady, and if there's any good reason to want to off a man, I think that's the best of reasons, certainly in the Wild West anyway. So there we are, let's see how this goes. As I said, we are using the townsfolk rule, and the way you do that is you roll 66, so let's see what we get. You ignore any 1s or 2s, so you get rid of them, and for 3, 4, 5s you place 1 townsfolk, and for 6s you place 3. So that worked out nicely to demonstrate all of the rules, didn't it? So what we do now, I'm the defender, Steve's the attacker. So we'll take it in turns to place either a group or a single townsfolk on the table. So we'll get that done. And then, yeah, then we'll start the game and you can see where they're at. Okay, so we just rolled a dice to choose board edges. Steve won. So he has chosen the board edge over here. So that means I'm going to be on this board edge, which is quite fine by me because Barliman Butterbur and his fine crew are all going to be in and around the orange peel. So Barliman will be behind the bar, Frank Beard will be at a table, I think Mrs. will be up here, and I think Tallulah will just be around there. She's just been visiting the outhouse. I do have an outhouse. Right, so now that's placed, Steve can now place his, and then we will get on with turn 1. We have a mother and child here, we have Stupid and family coming up the road, we have the doctor coming out of Rogan's bunk bar, and inside the orange peel we have a bar lady, don't we? Right, so this is take 2 because we made a mistake, so we're starting again. However, we are now ready. We have our Desperado cards out. Right, Steve? We have our Desperado cards out. We have our game deck. We have our turn counter. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a start. So Steve is going to turn the first card over, which is
Big Boy
McCoy. The ace of spades. So what we do is we roll his action dice, which is what we forgot about last time, and you get 4 6s, a 1 and a 4. So we'll have a look and see what that means and come back. So a 1 is a move, and a 4 or 5 is a shoot or a reload, and all those 6s are aces high, and they can be turned into any dice. So what are you going to do with those?
Well, I'm going to turn 2 of the 6s into moves.
So you'll have 3 move dice. Going to be able to move really fast.
No, I'll have 4 because the first one counts as
oh right,
2
okay,
dice.
okay. So 2 extra.
3,
cool.
4.
Yep.
And I think I'm just going to waste these.
Fair enough. Okay. So you roll 4 dice. Yep. Let's see how far you can go. Goodness me. So you get 12, 17.
17 inches.
Goodness me. He is motoring. Are you sure he got off his horse?
Centimetres.
So times it by 3, it'll be fine, or 2.5. 17 times 2 is 34. So half of 7 is 8, so 44. 42. 42.
Wow.
That was good maths, wasn't it? Wow. Right, so we need to see whether anything happens to these bystanders. So let's just check that out. So after that epic move, I can't quite believe he moved that far. Let's see who's going to move next. So next up is the 10 of hearts, which is Frank Beard. So let's have a look and see what I'm going to do with him. X expertly cinematographed there. So we've got 2, 2, 4, 5, 1 and a 6. So 2s are spots,
Yeah.
and 4s are shoots or reloads, and 5 so a shoot or reload, and a 6 is an aces high. So I'm going to have a bit of a think, and I'll let you know what I'm going to do. So I am going to convert my 6 into a 1. So I'll have 3 movement dice. I'm not going to. So the what was the 4, 4, 5 is shoot or reload, isn't it? So I'm going to grab another dice to make this a bit easier. So I'm going to roll my movement dice now. I don't move quite so far, so I'm going to move 9 inches. So let's get that done and then see whether I have a chance of spotting Mr. Speedy coming up the high street. So, yeah, I'm going to shoot at you.
Walking down the street.
Well, I know who you are. So Mr. Beard was sat at a bar table here and he heard shouts as that bad man walked up the high street. So he's made his way over to stand by the doors and he is poking his rifle out through the doors, and you can see up the high street, there is that bad man. There is that very bad man. So I have the 2s to use for spots, and I have the 5 and the 4 to use for shots. I'm a poet and don't I know it. So we will get that set up and I'll come back and we'll show you what those dice rolls tell us. So I made a mistake. I should not have changed my 6 into a move. I should have changed my 6 into an aim. But yeah, so I need 1 spot dice because I'm over 12 inches away from him. So that's used 1 of those spot dice. And then I'm going to have 2 shots. Now I can't aim. However, I am within effective range because he has a Winchester. So I believe it's just going to be straight shooting rather than no modifiers at all. There's no modifier for being at long range. But I'm also didn't have any aims, which is a shame. So that means that, yeah, it's just going to be straight. I really am wishing I'd aimed now. I need a 5 or a 6. Come on.
Yep.
Come on. Ah, do. They both miss. So I am going to mark down that I have shot 2 bullets from Mr. Beard. And that is Mr. Beard's turn. So now we'll find out who is going to go next. Okay, who's going to go next?
Oh, 9.
The 9 of hearts. That is Mrs. Smith, who, as seems to be a habit for me, brought a knife to a gunfight. Right, let's see what Mrs. Smith does. So we get 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. Let's have a look at that and see what we're going to do. Not very much, probably. Yeah, so the only thing I can do is 1 move, so I'll roll 2 dice for that. And she goes 10 inches, which is 25 centimetres, as I'm saying it. So let's go and measure that, see where she gets to. So Mrs. Smith was stood on the balcony and she saw the gunfire erupt from in front of her establishment and is a little bit miffed. And so she's going to come plunging down the stairs, having moved 25 centimetres and reach about there. Right, let's see who's going to go next.
Next is... Oh!
There we are. Ah, Tallulah. Right, so let's see what Tallulah gets. Another one, he brought a knife to a gunfight. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 6. So she was over here on her way back from the outhouse. So I'm going to dash her across towards the general store. So I'm going to convert the 6s into moves. And so I will have 4 move dice. So let's see what happens. So we get 10, 16. My mental arithmetic is getting a workout in this. 32, 40. Yeah? 40 centimetres to multiply by 2.5. So we're going to move her 40 centimetres. So let's take the older... This, I can't believe it doesn't have inches on it. Silly. Let's take this and see how far she gets. And she's aiming to get across to the general store. So I have ended up within an inch of the pregnant young lady with her child. So what I need to do now is roll 1d6 and see if I have any luck or not. Oh, drop it on the floor. I'll pick that up in a minute. No, it's a 1, it's a 1. She's going to attack me. Oh no, oh no, oh no. So let's go over to the table and have a look. So, have a go here. A retired gunfighter, an irate townsperson, or a furious old dame responds with violence. Roll 1d6. On a roll of a 5, the character takes 1 shock and a stage can dodge. On a roll of a 6, the character takes a wound. So let's roll that again. So I need to have not a 5 or a 6. Whoosh. Ah! 5, right. So let's remind ourselves what the dodge rules are. Back in a minute. So a dodge is a roll of a 5 or a 6. 2.
No.
So Tallulah has walked up and the gunfire has made our friendly little mummy here get very protective of her children, and not recognising Tallulah in the shock and the fear, she lashes out and smacks her one, and that gives a shock. So yeah, I believe that means that Tallulah puts a dice into her shock pool over here, and next turn she will only be rolling 5. So there we are. That's how that works, I think. But I think that you can get that back.
Yeah.
I think you can spend 6s to recover from the shock pool.
Sure.
Anyway, so that is Tallulah's turn. That didn't work how I wanted it to. Hello, Mr. Steve. Who is going to go next?
Next is... Oh, Sam.
Finally. Right, so this is Bad Dan McGraw. So you need to roll your action dice. So, 1, 6.
It's going to have to be a 1.
1, 6, and lots of 4s.
Yeah.
And a 5. So lots of shooting. So you can roll. Here, I have an extra dice for that. So you can roll 3 move dice. So you go 11. So that is 22, 27.
7. Hidden.
It's over there. So 27. This is where I don't know which character is which of yours. I always get them confused. They all look the same.
Yeah, it's this one.
Yeah. So he can move 27. You're just heading straight up the high street as well, or are you going to?
No, somebody's firing a rifle at us.
Yeah.
I think we'll run over to. No, I think we'll run.
Are you gonna make use of human shields?
Well, I can't reach there yet.
There we are.
But maybe.
Cool. Right, so that's that. So back in a minute for the next move. Okay, who is going to go next? It is the Ace of Hearts. It doesn't quite sound as good as Ace of Spades, does it? Ace of Hearts. Right, Barlam and Butterbear. Let's see what Mr. Butterbear does. So, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 3, and a 3, and a 6. Wow. Okay, right, I'll have a look at that and work out what I'm going to do. So, I'm just going to roll my first move dice. Mr. Butterbear has a shotgun, so he only has a range of 9 inches. So he is going to move 8 inches, which is going to be 16 plus 4, 22. 20 centimetres. So we'll go and see how far he gets, and then decide what we're going to do from there. So Barliman was in the bar, behind the bar, and when he hears the shots run out and he hears Frank yelling about who's coming up the high street, he is going to leg it out through past Frank standing in the doorway, and he manages to reach roughly where that dice is. So that is where he ends up. Right, I think this means that the last one is your last dude, isn't it, Steve?
Yep.
It's the 9 of spades. Yeah, so you can roll your action dice. So what have you got?
2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s.
Wow, so you can't move.
I can't move.
So you can kind of try and spot if you wanted to. I think if I don't move, spots continue to work. So from what I understand, if say for example you spot now and then I can't move, and then but I don't think actually you can spot anyone anyway.
Way out.
No, you're out, aren't you? Because if we get down, I mean, you might be able to spot. No, I don't think you can see the front door. I think you're way out of range. I think you need more spots than you've got. So he is the beginner, isn't he? He's a newbie.
Even if I spot him and he doesn't move,
your range on your you'd need to have like 4 move dice or something, and okay, so that's it. So that's the end of turn 1. Let's turn over the turn dice. Let's shuffle our what's it, and we're back for turn 2. I did just realise that our Avogo hero here should have moved 2d6 towards the nearest cover. So let's get that rolled before we do anything. So 4 inches, so that is 10 centimetres. So let's see how far she goes. She's probably just going to dive straight back inside the crystalline general store, I think. I think that makes the best sense. So we'll just move her there. Back in a minute for turn 2. Okay, turn 2. Okay. Mr. Steve, the disembodied hand. I hope you shuffled it nicely. Yeah. Well, clearly you shuffled it nicely. Look at you. No. We have Abel Kane.
Okay.
Right, let's see if we can do more than nothing this time round. Oh, you got to move.
Oh, I've got a move.
Yeah.
2, 3, 3, 4, 4.
So you've got to move a spot, 2 aims and 2 shoots or reloads. So you're going to roll 2 move. There you go, 2 inches. Good. Look at that. God. Rolling bombs there. So he is going to go 5 centimetres.
Good God.
So look at the... So the other 2 kind of dashed up the high street and he's kind of stumbling on saying, wait for me!
Okay.
Right, so let's see who's going to go next. All right then. 10 of hearts. That is Mr. Beard. Oh, look at all those reloads and shoots and 1 spot.
Yeah.
No aims. However, I have a 6. So what I'm going to do is I only need 1 spot. If we just go and put that over there, because you're definitely within range. I'm then going to take an aimed shot and I'm going to do it 1 at a time. So I believe the aim shot will be at +1.
Right.
And the others, it doesn't carry over, which is a bit strange, but I suppose the muzzle moves, doesn't really shoot. So I'm going to roll, so that's going to turn into an aim.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try, so now I get +1 on this.
Yeah.
7. So that's good. So let's have a quick look and see what that does, and we'll be back in a second. So the first thing that we need to do is roll a dodge. So Steve is going to roll 1 dice. He's in the open. He needs a 5 or a 6. He gets a 2. So that means that he has been hit. So we'll now have a look at the effects table and see what happens with that. Right, so we've just had a bit of a discussion, and I think that the modifier applies to both the to hit and the hit effect roll, because the words say when you roll a 7, you have potentially scored a critical wound. It's a little bit confusing because it seems a bit like it's very hard to cause a critical wound, but if I roll another 6, then I do. But I think this dice roll here on the hit effect table has a +1 modifier on it.
Yeah.
I think. If we're wrong, tell us in the comments. So you get a 5. That's a shock. So you get 1 action dice into your what's it? So now I'm going to roll my I'm going to roll another shot, and this is unmodified.
Right.
I get a 3. That's a miss. And we have a little visitor, so we'll just pause for a minute and come back in a second. So Rosie's going to come up and she wants to do some dice rolling, don't you, love? So I shot a 3, which is a miss. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to use the other 4 and the other 5 to reload. So I'm going to add 2 more. So I'm going to reload. Oh no, I've got loads of shots. I'm just going to roll them. I'm just going to roll them. I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to try again.
Right.
Do you want to roll these?
Yes.
Right, roll them into that. Come around here and roll them into the dice tray. Get me 2 6s, please. Roll them in there, don't throw it too hard. Oh, I saw a 6. So that is a 2 more misses. So I have only 6 shots left in my Winchester. That is Frank Beard's turn. Let's see who's going to play next.
Daddy?
Yes, darling?
What are these circles?
They are called Bonanza tokens, and you can use them to do cool things, but we haven't used them yet, and we'll probably forget about them like last time. Right, so who's... Okay, you can sit on the sofa. So who's going to play next? Next up is the 8 of hearts, who is Tallulah. So she only has 5 because she got 1 in the shot pool. So Rosie, if you can roll those 5 dice into that dice tray. Wow, you can hold 5 dice. I'll do 1.
No.
Oh, you manage it. Good girl. Oh, look at those lovely 2 6s.
Look.
Yes, it's an STF. Right, we're going to have a look at that, work out what we're going to do. We'll be back in a second. Okay, so I'm going to use one of my 6s to get my dice back from the shock pool. I'm going to roll 2 moves to see how far I can get. So I get a 6, a 4 and a 4, so that's a 10. It's another 6, yes, STF. So 10 times 2.5 is 25, so she'll move 25 centimetres. So let's go and see how far she gets, and then we'll have a look to see what we're going to do with our 6 and our 4. So Tallulah has made it here just past the hangman's, and she's going to roll another we're going to convert one of those 6s into another move because she wants to get a little bit more out of sight, I think. So, yeah, she's just running. I don't know what she's actually doing, to be honest. She's just running like crazy. And maybe she'll just run off the board. It'd be totally useless. Right, so we're going to convert this 6 into a move. She can move another 3 inches, which is 7 centimetres, so 8 centimetres, whatever. So we'll see how far she gets, and then that will be Tallulah's turn. Okay, so who is going to go next, Mr. Steve of the disembodied hand? We have Mrs. Smith. So we have 4 more dice to roll. Please, can you roll those 6 dice even? Roll those dice into the dice tray. We have a 1, a 2, a 4, a 5, and a 5. Really useful for someone with no gun. Okay, so I'm going to take that 2 1s. I'm going to roll 3 dice, and she's going to keep moving, and that's all she's going to do.
I want to roll.
Do you want to roll those 3 dice, please? Yes. Thank you. So we have 12, which is 24.
6.
Yes, 24, 30 centimetres. So we're going to get her moved now. We'll see how far she goes, and we'll be back in a second. So Mrs. Smith, who made it down the stairs before, has now dashed over, and she is now stood over here by the church with her knife. That's all she's got. Rosie wants to see as well. So there we are. So that's where she is. So we will be. We'll go and see who's going to play. Who's going to play next? Want to pick the next?
Let me see.
Do you want to pick the next game card?
Next is
10 of spades, which is
McGraw.
Bad Dan McGraw. Right, Rosie, do you want to come and roll some dice?
Yes, please.
There you go. You roll those.
I can manage.
You can manage. Get them into that dice tray nicely. Oh wow! So what have you got, Steve? 1, 2, 4, 4, 5, 6. Right, so we'll let Steve decide what he's going to do, and we're back in a second.
I've turned that 6 into another move.
So you've got 3 move dice.
Yeah.
So Rosie wants to roll those. Oh, no,
sorry.
that's okay. You can roll the next one. So you've got 10.
10.
So it's 25.
25.
There you go. So let's see how far. I can foresee you grabbing a hostage.
Well,
Look at this bad boy. He's clearly a bad boy.
Going to the church.
Steve's got into the church, yes, with his 25.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think that you'd be very welcome in there, though. Are you hoping for a lightning bolt?
Don't care. We don't care.
Very cool. Right, so let's see who the next one is. Rosie, if you can take this card and turn it over. It is the Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades. Big boy McCoy. So you've got 5 dice to roll now, Rosie. If you can roll those 5.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I managed to get a pin and a shock onto
What do I need to get rid of
a
the
6,
pin?
I believe.
Right.
So you've got 1, 4, 5, 5, 6.
Okay, so I need the 6 to remove the
Can I
pin.
do this
Okay.
one too?
You can do it when Steve's turn. Now settle down,
Leaves
please.
me 2 dice
A
for
2 dive move.
moving.
Okay.
Oh,
It's okay. 8.
I wanted
So
to do
16, 20. So you've get to move 20. And I'm not sure what effect the pin has, to be honest. But
You have to move to 22.
unless I remove it, I can't move, can I?
that's a very good point. Let's have a quick look at the rules about pins and see whether we've just made a mistake, shall we? Shall we
Okay.
do that? That's a good
Alright.
idea. Let's have a quick look at the rules.
Okay.
The rules are useful, I think. I've always found them to be relatively useful. What do you think, Rosie? Yes?
No.
No? All right, we'll just make it up as we go along. Okay, right, let's have a look at the rules. So we've just had a little bit of a look, and it doesn't actually change anything. So the 6 could not be used to reduce the shock pool. The 6 is going to be converted into a 1, which is then used to remove the pin. And that then means that he has 1 move which he can roll, and he can get the move he got anyway.
Yeah.
So Steve now can move 20, and he has used one of his move dice to remove the pin. So yeah, it's a good thing we looked at the rules then. Nice and simple. He is now coming right up. Oh my goodness, he's getting right in my face. There we are. So that's that move. Let's see who is going to go. Who is going to go next?
I want to be these dices.
Okay.
Next is
Ace of Hearts. So that's me, Rosie. I've got 6 dice for you to roll. You need to roll these dice, please. Right, so Rosie's going to roll my 6, which is for Barnum and Butterbur. And we get a 3, a 4, a 4, a 5 and 2 6s. So I'm going to have a bit of a think. I know, and that's a Waifs and Strays 6. So we're going to have a little bit of a think about what to do with that, and I'll come back in a minute. So what I decided to do is take one of my 6s and convert it into a 1. So Rosie, just roll 2 of those dice, please.
Okay.
Just 2.
I'll do these big ones.
Good idea, love. So what do we get? We got a 9, so that's 18, 24, so 24 centimetres. Let's see how far I get, and then I'll see what I'm going to do with the rest of my dice. So Steve's going to do a bad boy thing. So I rolled, Rosie rolled, and I managed to get to where you can see the purple dice. However, Steve is going to burn a bonanza dice on me just before I get within shot. So I'm going to come, and I believe you said around here.
Yeah.
You're going to bonanza me. So let's go and see what happens with that. So what's going to happen is, so Rosie is going to roll the action dice for Big Boy McCoy. So roll those into that tray. We get a 4, a 5, a 4, a 5 and a 6. That's a pretty good roll when you're attempting to shoot me in the face. So let's see what Steve's going to do, and we'll come back in a second. Yep, so we're going to aiming shot here. So that turns into a 5, which is a hit. So the aim was successful. So you had 1 spot, an aim and a 5. So now you roll on the to wound table. So Steve has just had a look, and he's a pistol or a sawn off at 4 inches or less, which means that he has a +1 as well as his aim. So that's actually +2. So he's rolled a 6. So you now roll on the hit effect table. Rosie, do you want to come and roll on the hit effect table?
Yes, please. I was just looking how many numbers there are.
Okay, there's 6 on each of these. So roll low. Hey, so a 4, no effect.
So do I get those pluses?
Yes.
Again?
So 2 + 2 is a 4. So that's no effect. So you reduce your ammo by 1.
Yeah.
Over here. And then you've got your other shots, which are, if you want to take them.
Yeah.
So are you going to come and roll again, Rosie?
Yeah, just rolling that.
These are all straight throws, aren't they?
Yeah, so just roll those 3.
I will.
5, 5, 5. So 3 hits. So roll those 3 again.
3 hits.
Roll low, roll low, roll low. Low, low, low. 1, a 6 and a 4. So that is a wound. Lose 1 action dice permanently.
Right.
That is not what I wanted. Right, so that's what happens with yours. So I can now, we'll now have a look and see. We'll now have a look and see what we do with the rest of this turn.
Then I had
Right, so
3 hits.
So I need to roll some dodge dice. That's what I've just realised. So we're going to roll 3 dodge dice. Rosie, do you want to roll the 3 dodge dice?
Yeah.
And we'll see what the results are then of those dodge dice. So 6, 4, 4. I think I dodge 1. And 2, I don't dodge because I'm out in the open. That's what I think I do. So we'll just try and resolve what we're going to do with that to hit roll, whether we're going to re-roll it or whether we're going to randomise whether it took effect or not.
Okay.
So we'll be back in a second. So that was just off camera because we were kind of nattering and I forgot to pick the camera up. So because we made a mistake then, I let Steve decide whether he wanted a 50-50, whether the hit actually hit me or whether he wanted to re-roll the to hit dice. He re-rolled 2, so we've got 1 hit and 1 not. So now Rosie, if you can roll that 1 dice on here, this is going to be the effect, and it's a 2. So again, it turns up with no effect. But I do take a pin, don't I?
No, it doesn't say so.
Because there was no effect, wasn't it? It was all no effect. I think we're right. We'll double check, and I might take a pin, I might not, but that worked out far better than it should have done. But I think now we remember how it works. I forgot the dodge. But yeah, we're also coming up to lunchtime, and I think I'm getting a little bit hungry. So let's just see.
I'm a little bit hungry.
Okay, right.
I've been reading my red box books for my teddies, and I read a little bit to Mummy.
Good, that's really good. Well done, I'm pleased. Right, so we're going to move on and see what we're going to do next. I'm going to finish up my turn because I'm still moving and I'm now going to blast you with a shotgun. So yeah, let's see what happens. Right, so the outcome of that was nothing, which is a shame because initially Steve managed to get it so I had lost a permanent action dice and 1 in the shock pool, but then because of the missed dodge and what have you, yeah, bit of a shame. But we won't make that mistake again. So I'm taking the 3 to turn my first shot into, wait a minute. Yeah, first shot's going to be an aimed shot, so it's going to be at +1. So Rosie, can you roll this dice, please?
What dice?
That one.
That one, okay.
Get me high. Roll high.
Well,
Nice and high. +1. Right. Okay. So that was a miss. Need to roll it into the what's it. So that was a miss. So I'm going to take my second shot.
Yeah.
And this is not at +1. Get a 5. So that is a hit.
Yeah.
So Steve now needs to roll to see whether he can dodge. Won't forget this time. And he
No.
doesn't dodge. So now we roll on the to wound table. Can you roll that on the to wound table? 6. Let's see what that does. I think that might be something. We'll turn the camera off and have a quick look at the rules. So 6 is lose 1 action dice permanently and put 1 in the shock pool. So he now has 2 in the shock pool and has lost 1 permanently. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my last 6 into a 1. So if you can roll that again, I'm going to attempt to get back out of sight. We'll see. I get 5, so I can move 10, 12 centimetres. So let's see how far we can get him to go.
yeah.
Yeah. So Barliman is ducked back behind there, behind the church, and he is going to reload 1 barrel of his shotgun. So he shot twice, ducked back in, and then he's going to use the last 5 as a reload. So yeah, that's the end of turn 2. So let's go to turn 3, and we'll shuffle the cards and come back very shortly. So after a brief break for lunch, Rosie is downstairs watching a Lord of the Rings cartoon, the Bakshi cartoon. Got to raise them right. So we've got a little bit of peace. So what we're going to do now is we're going to play turn 3. So Steve's going to turn over. Let's see who goes first.
Oh.
Ace of Spades! The Ace of Spades! So it is the big boy McCoy. Let's see what... you got 1 bonanza left. You get a 2, a 6 and a 3. So, do you know what you're going to do, or do you want a minute to think?
No, I'm just going to stay put and take.
You're going to gain a shot back.
Yeah.
Are you going to you can't. There's no reloads there, is there? No, so you can't do anything. Right. Okay, that's cool. So you're just gaining 1 of your dice back from the shot pool. So who's going to play next?
10.
Goodness me! You know, Steve shuffled these cards. So now it's the bad Dan McGraw.
Alright, okay. 2 1s, 2 4s, 5 and a 6.
2 1s, 2 4s, a 5 and a 6.
Right, okay.
So
2 moves.
Yep. So 14 inches. So it's going to be 21,
Yeah.
28.
Right, so that's
28 centimetres. It's over here. And where is he? He's in the church.
He's in the church.
Now, did he survive the experience? Didn't get struck down. No, he hasn't got struck down.
Oh,
Steady. Steady on.
right.
So you're going to move over to that.
Yeah, and wash over to the window.
I'm going to say that you need to use that 6 for a spot, because we're both in cover. And I'm not directly in front of the window and you're not. So I think you need to use a spot. Come on.
Well, yeah, you're right by the window.
Let's have a quick look. Let's have a quick look. Let the camera decide. Let the camera decide. I might have, if I move too far over to make this a little bit. Oh, look at that. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. You know what? I think you're right. I think I've moved too far over. I should have moved between the 2 windows. And I think you're correct. So
They're all shooting ones, aren't they?
So you've got 4, 4, 5 and a 6. You've got 5 in your, no, you've got 6 shots still in your gun. So what are you going to do with this?
Well, so can I aim?
Yes.
Yeah. Right, so I use one for aiming.
So that's going to, so one of these is going to have a +1. So we may as well roll that first.
Right.
So this is on a +1. A 4 is a miss. Boo.
So these are just
straight as they come. Boo.
Do I get a plus for being within 4 inches?
You do. So the first one would have been a hit. Yes, you do. Well remembered, Steve. So the first one would have been a hit.
And one for each.
Aim. So the 3 would have turned to a 4 to a 5.
Yeah.
That would have turned to a 4, so still a miss. So you've got 1 hit. So I am going to do a dodge. And I dodge. So I dodge out the way.
And you got a second one to dodge, haven't you?
No, you only hit with 1, I think. You rolled a 4.
No, I hit with the
Wait a second.
aimed one.
You rolled a 3 with the aimed one. So that turned to a 4 because it was aimed. Plus 1 with a 5. So the 5 is a hit.
Yeah.
And then you rolled a 3 and a 1. Plus 1 on the 3 was a 4, which is still a miss.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I dodge. So I'm just going to dodge myself out. Wow. So I'm basically standing in the window.
You got the gun against your head, and I still miss.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? So the gun goes off. I reckon what happens is my head's very small and my hat's big. So you just shot a hole in my hat, I reckon.
Okay.
Right, so who's going to play next?
9.
9 is Mrs. Smith, so let's see. So we've got 3 1s, 2 3s and a 6. So I'm going to roll. Let me see, where am I? I'm just going to have a quick look at where I am and work out what I'm going to do, and I'm back in a second. Mrs. Smith is here. She has just seen a bullet go right through the hat of, of Butterbur. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to run up and I'm going to try and get into brawl with Big Jim. So I have 4 dice and my aim, so I've said where I'm running to, so I don't run past it. So my aim is just to get enough to be able to reach you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get enough to reach you. Right, you do have a bonanza, so if you do want to bonanza and try and shoot me as I come around the corner, you absolutely can. So I'm going to come running along here, get round here. Are you going to play your bonanza?
Yeah.
Okay, you'll play your bonanza. So I will evacuate my dice from out of the way. So these ones go back in my pool for now. That one goes back over here as a spare, and you have, because you gained 1 back, didn't you? So you got 5 5 4 3. So you can do 1 aimed shot. So 1 aimed shot and 2 shots.
Right.
So this one's +1 and +2 because you're within. Let's not forget that. So 5. So that's a hit. So I will do a dodge. A 4. I'm in the open. So that is a fail. So now you roll on the wound effect table. That is a no effect.
Jesus.
So that's that one. So, sorry, in the action dice, yeah. So now you've got 2 unaimed ones, which are just a +1 for being.
With you?
Yeah. Oh,
Jesus.
you're shooting, mate. You're shooting.
Yeah.
It's not cool. So you need to do your ammo.
Oh yeah.
And I am going to get into. Going to get into brawling, so we are going to remind ourselves of the rules of brawling. She has brought a knife to a gunfight again. We're going to see what happens. We're back in a minute. So we've worked it out that we both have 2 dice. We both have knives, so we both hit on a 4, 5 or a 6. Come on! I get a 5. You get a 4, so we have 1 hit each. So let's see what it says about that. Brawling results table. So net hits 0. The fight is a draw. Both characters take 1 shot. Remove 1 dice from each character's action dice pool. Fight a second round of brawling immediately using the same combat dice pool less 1 dice. So we fight again with just 1 dice. So we put 1 dice into our shock pool and we fight again using 1 dice each. And it's another draw. So what that says is is that another shock pool, I think? Possibly, I think. Let's just double check. If this results in a draw, move and 1 additional shock. So we move back 1 inch and we use 1 additional shock. So we both move 1 inch and we've both lost 2 shock each because of that. Yeah. Goodness me. Brawling's really brutal in this, isn't it? So I'm going to move back 1 inch and you can move back 1 inch and that's her turn completed. How about that? Right, who's going to play next, Mr. Steve? It's the 9 of spades. It's slow coach.
God, yeah.
He's still fully loaded though. So we've got 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. Oh, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 6, even. Right, let's see what you're going to do. So the 6 has been turned into a move, and you can move 6, 12, 15 centimetres. And after that, we will. Where actually is he? Oh, he's all the way back there.
I nowhere.
So 15 centimetres. And I just realised I removed my pin dice from Mrs. Smith because I forgot it was a pin dice. I'm going to go and put that back on because she is pinned.
Right.
That was a mistake. I just picked it up, forgot what it was for. Sorry. Okay, so are you going to do anything else? Anything else with slow coach?
No,
Abel Kane? Love that name. Right, so who's going to go next? Oh, it's Barnum and Butterbear. So I need to roll a move to remove my pin. That's what we need to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so let's roll these. And he's only got 1 ammo. Oh dear, so I can use my 6 to remove my pin. So I'm going to do that. That's going to turn into a move, but that means I can't move at all. But that does mean I can remove my pin, at least. There we are. And then I'm going to reload with the 5. So I'm back up to 2.
Yeah.
And that's all I can do. So, who's next?
Next.
10 of hearts. It's Mr. Beard. Mr. Beard. Mr. Beard, who is tucked away, still tucked away inside, behind those doors. And he doesn't really have a shot now, so he's going to have to come out and move. Right, let's roll some dice. I might do some reloading if I can as well. So we've got a 1, a 2, 2 6s, a 5 and a 4. Right, so I'm going to do my move, going to roll my move, see how far I get, and then decide on the rest of them.
Yeah.
Ha! So I can move 7 centimetres.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll get moved and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to reload twice. So I'm up to 8 ammo again, and I'm going to change those 2 into move dice because I did not move very far, as you'll see in a second. So 9, 18, 24 centimetres. So where he is right now, stuck right outside there, I'm going to make a move to put him into a more sensible position. So Frank Beard has ducked across, dashed across, and is now tucked in behind the general store, and hopefully we'll be able to pop out and get a shot off next turn. So next time we can move. So who's going to play next, Mr. Steve?
Next is Tallulah.
Tallulah. Right, so let's police my dice. That was very messy of me leaving my dice there. I have 2 1s, 2 2s, a 3 and a 6. So I'll have a quick look at that and get back to you in a second. So Tallulah is here. I have no idea what she's doing. So I don't know. We're just going to roll the movement dice. So we've got 3 dice. She gets 10, so she can move 25. So yeah, but actually I have no idea what she's actually trying to achieve. I think maybe she's going to come around the back of Rogan's bar. Let's see how far she can get. Yeah, she made it around the back of Rogan's bar. I still don't know what she's going to do. Maybe she's caught sight of this slow coach and is hoping to chat him up. Who knows? We'll find out. But yeah, right, so that is the end of turn 3. Who'd have thought it? Let's go to turn 4, and Steve is now shuffling the cards. He promises he's shuffling them so that it doesn't get like ace, 10, 9 of spades next time.
Right,
so yeah,
ready?
let's see who goes next. 10 of spades. Shuffled, huh? 10 of spades. Right, so
Right.
let's see. Oh, sorry, that's terrible.
That's
There, oh no, I didn't release my dice. How awful of me. Sorry. 2, 3, 3, 6, 6. Not a bad little roll. Right, you have a bit of a think, or come back when you've decided.
I'm going to have to think on this one.
Yes. A decision has been made, so what's going to happen?
My move.
Going to do 2 dice move. You get 11, 22, 30. No, 26, sorry.
Right. He's going to rush to that window.
Oh my goodness. You're going to shoot Mrs. Smith?
Indeed.
She's a poor little shopkeeper.
Mrs. Smith.
Mrs. Smith is going to get blasted.
She needs to die.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
It's not very friendly.
So, do I need a spot?
No, you don't need to spot.
Right, okay, so that's wasted.
So you've got two aims.
And these going to have to
So
be
what are you
two.
going to do? Are you going to aim twice in one, or are you going to put an aim on each? The look of a man who is making a decision and isn't sure what he's going to do. What do you think? The dog's going nuts in the background.
Right, okay, well let's aim twice on the first shot.
Oh, so you got +3 on this. So you get an 8.
8.
So I'm going to roll a dodge. I fail. So you roll on the effect table.
+3.
+3, yep. Oh, 8.
8.
I think that is. Right, we're just going to have a quick look at that. We're back in a sec. Okay, so that's a critical wound. So it's another pinned token, and it's a roll on the critical wound table. So we're going to roll this one. That's
6.
dead. Boot Hill, dead.
Boot Hill
You've
dead.
killed Mrs. Smith. You said she needed to die. You weren't
did.
wrong. Mrs. Smith is dead.
Needed to die.
Oh my goodness me, how about that? Right, so we're going to clean the table up and come back for the next card in a second. Well, there we are, first one down. So who's
Ready?
going to go next? 9 of hearts, that just gets discarded. Just take it out completely because that was Mrs. Smith. So we'll draw straight away again. 10 of hearts.
Okay.
So that is Frank Beard. Right, Frank has just seen Mrs. Smith gunned down in the street
Quite
like
right.
a dog.
Quite right.
So 1, 2, 3, 6, 5, 5. That is not bad. So he is going to use his 1 to pop out. He's going to blast twice with one of them aimed at your big boy McCoy, and then he is going to use the final 6 to dodge back into cover. So we're going to do, and that'll be the spot.
Right.
Okay, so I'll spot him with that. Right, so we're going to so all I'm doing is popping out. I'm not moving right in the middle of the street. I'm just moving like 1 inch, so outside, inside. Yeah, so that's fine. So we'll come over here. He is going to poke out like that.
All right.
And you can see there, he has got a clear line of sight to your man,
Yeah.
big boy McCoy. So what we're now going to do is we're going to take the first shot, which is going to be aimed.
Yeah.
So at +1.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's, we'll have another quick double check what the, because this is a Winchester, so I don't know whether I get anything more bonuses. We'll have a look. Well, I'll roll anyway. Oh, it was on the 6 and it rolled to the 5. So I get a 5. We'll just quickly check to see what other adjustments we have to get a 6. We'll check to see what other adjustments we get back in a second. So it was just +1, which is a shame. It was on a 6 and it rolled off to a 5, but it's still a 6. So you have a dodge. You fail. So we roll on the. So a 6 is a wound. No, so now I roll on this at a +1.
Yeah.
Sorry. A 5 is a shock.
Shock.
Place 1 into the character, so you're down to 1 action dice. Goodness me. And then what I said I was going to do was reload. No, I was going to shoot again. So I've shot once. This is not at +1.
Yeah.
So this is just as it comes. A 3. So I miss.
Miss.
And then I'm going to roll this to move back into cover. A 3, that's fine. I just want to duck back down into cover. So I am down again to 6 shots. I've used up all of that shot dice, but I did take a shock dice off you, so that's not horrendous. Let's see who gets to play next. 9. Oh, it's slow coach. Slow coach. He's not very able, is he? This Abel Kane. He's not able to. Oh, now he's in. Now he's woken up. 2 1s, a 3, a 5, and 2 6s. Do you want to think?
Yeah, I need a little think here. Right.
Decision made?
These are my moves.
So you're doing 3 dice for move. 13, 26, 33. There you go, sir. 33. He's woken up. You're going for Tallulah, aren't you?
Hi, babe.
Hey, Tallulah. Right, so that was your moves. You have a 3, a 5, and 2 6s to go.
Right, well, I'm going to change. I'm going to have another aim.
So a double aimed shot.
And another shot.
And what are you going to do? A double aimed shot? Or
Double aim shot.
So at plus 3. Because you're within 4 inches on a pistol.
Yeah.
So at plus 3. Poor Tallulah. 8.
8.
Let's do a dodge. Come on, Tallulah. Get a 6. Oh! Manages to dodge in the open. 5 or 6 is a dodge. So I get a pinned. But that does not mean that you can't shoot again.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure here whether you actually dodge into cover or not. Do you move when you dodge? Let's have a quick look at the rules. I'm not sure. I do think you still get to shoot though. You don't. Let's do the other 2 shots, or the other shot. You definitely still get to shoot.
4.
That wasn't plus nothing. Well, no, plus 1. So that's a 5. So that is a hit. So I'll roll another dodge. I've failed. So you'll roll a 5, which is a shock. So 1 into the shock pool, and we're going to have a quick look at dodge to see whether she actually moves or not. Okay, so we checked, and yes, if there is cover, then she will dodge behind cover. So she is pinned and round the corner, and she has also lost 1 dice into her shock pool. So, who's going to go next, Mr. Steve? Ace of Hearts, Butterbur. Right, is Butterbur going to get some revenge for the brutal killing of Mrs. Smith? So I get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. That's not bad, but it's not great. Right, I'm going to have a quick think, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is going to use the 1 to roll the move twice, and I'm attempting to get just up to the corner of the building. So that's plenty for me to get up to the corner of the building, so I'll do that. Let's do that now. And then I am going to take an aimed shot right into Big Bill's face. There we are. So we have an aim and a shot. And that was a 4, sorry, knocked it. So we've got an aim shot. So this is at plus 1. I don't get a plus because I'm not pistol. Ha! I get a 1.
Miss.
So I'm going to fire once more, because I can only fire once more. I get another 1. And I'm going to reload. Well, that was terrible. That was awful. So I walk round, I'm within what? Spitting, I could probably spit on you. Yeah. And I missed twice with both shotgun blasts. I'm upset because Mrs. Smith.
Hi.
Mrs. Smith's dead body is right next to me. Yeah. I'm not a gunslinger. I'm a barman.
It's recoil. Yeah.
This is it. Yeah. So there we are. Right. So who's going to go next after that absolutely horrendous round of shooting?
Oh.
Ace of Spades.
Big boy.
Well, with 1 dice.
With 1 dice. What?
What are you going to do? You need a 3.
I'm going to aim.
He's taking aim at me. There we are. Right. So who's going to go next? Might be Tallulah, I think. It is Tallulah. Tallulah with 1 in a shock pool. So let's see whether we can come and stab you in the face, you cruel man. No. No moves.
No moves.
No 6s. Nothing. So I can't do anything. Okay. What have I got? Have I got something here? No, I had 2 spot dice. That doesn't help me. No, so she can't do anything. She just sits there. She's sitting there quivering. She is merely a barmaid. So we are now up to turn 5. So let's turn this over. Steve is going to do his shuffling magic, and we'll be back with the turn 5 in a minute. Okay, turn 5. Who is going to be first in turn 5?
It's going to be 10.
10 of hearts. Ah, you see, it's Frank. Frank Beard. Right. Right, so we have 3 moves and 3 shoots. So I'm going to take my first move to do the same thing. I'm going to tuck out. Let's see if I can get it. Well, I only need to move 1, so I'm definitely going to do it. Yeah. So I'm going to pop myself out again. I'm going to take a shot again.
Yeah.
2 shots again at you, down this line here. And then I am going to use a move to pop back in. So it's going to be 2 more shots.
Yeah.
Both of them miss.
Okay.
Come on. They're going to take another shot because this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hit! So you do a dodge.
Ooh.
Successful.
Yeah.
So that's it. And then I'm just going to move back into cover. So I've got 3 shots left on my rifle. And I'll just go back into cover.
Okay.
So, yeah. Who's going to go next? 9. Slow coach.
Slow coach.
But he's not so slow anymore, is he? So what have we got? We've got 3, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. So you can turn that 6 into a move and then it can be useful.
Yeah. It's going to have to be a move.
Yep. Yep. So 10, 25. Yeah, you can definitely get far enough to that corner if you want. And then what are you going to do?
I'm going to
Shoot me in the face.
I'm going to blast the varmint.
Ah. So that was
Right.
that. So you've got a shot. You've got 3 shots.
2 aims.
2 aims and 3 shots.
Right. We're going to take 2 aims.
So this is going to be at +3. 4. That misses. Wow. Now you know how I feel with my shotgun. And now 2 unaimed.
But they're just
How many
plus
shots
1.
have you got left in your shot? How many times have you shot her? You shot once last. How many times did you shoot last time?
Twice.
Let's just say that after this. So after this, you'll have 1 shot left. Yeah. 4s are misses.
No, because they're +1.
Oh yes, so 5. So 2 hits. So I'll have 2 dodges. Well remembered. I forgot that it was. And both fail because I'm in open. So that's 2 hits. So you roll 2 hits on the hit table. A 5 and a 4. Right, let's just quickly check.
And that's with
what that
+1,
is.
yeah?
Yes, it is.
5 and a 6.
So let's just check this. So a wound and a shock. So she loses 1 permanently and 1 goes into her what's it.
Yeah, and...
She's already pinned.
No, she loses 1 for the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 for the. Oh, it's 2, isn't it? Of course,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
2 into. So 2 into the shock, 1 permanent.
Yeah.
Right. So let's see who goes next. Poor Tallulah.
Still not dead.
Getting there.
8.
So
Is
that is
Tallulah.
Tallulah with her 2 dice. Can't do anything because she needs a 6 for that, and she needs a 1 to get rid of her pin.
Yeah.
So she can't do anything. So she's just quivering in fear on the floor. Oh, come on, Butterbear. Come on, Butterbear. Do what you need to do with your shotgun. Come on. You've got 1 blast. So we've got a 6. We've got 2 5s. We've got a 4. We've got a 2. And we've got a 1. So I am still poked around the corner.
Yeah.
So I am going to take an aimed shot
Yeah.
at +1
Yeah.
at you.
Right.
7.
7.
Right, so you need to do a dodge. And you do dodge.
Yeah.
That is frustrating, isn't it? So I'm now going to, that'll me out. So I'm now going to have to reload twice. That's all I can do. And I'm going to move so that you can't come straight back at me.
Yep.
And I'm aiming to just dodge back to between the two windows. Yeah. So that's really frustrating. So we're going to dodge back here just to kind of get out of line of sight of everyone.
Yep.
Right, so next card.
Next.
Oh, your 1 dice.
My 1 dice.
Oh, sorry, did not police my dice at all. You got a 5.
5. That's nothing.
Can't do anything with that one. So now the last one is the man in the church.
And in the church. 2 6s, 2 5s, 2
3s. That's not bad. Do you want to have a think?
Yeah.
Yeah, have a think. I'll be back in a sec.
Little.
You're going to make them both move dice.
Both move dice, so that's 3.
3 dice. Ah, you were so close to diving through a window.
8.
8, 16, 20.
20.
Yeah. I thought you were going to dive through the window, mate. I'm
So
disappointed.
did I, but I didn't think I would make it.
So you're going to get out next to Big Bill, or whatever his name is.
There we go.
Cool.
Defend the boss.
Yep. Anything else?
I hadn't got anything to
Okay.
shoot at.
Wow, so that's the end of turn 5. Right, we'll do our shuffling thing and be back shortly for turn 6.
Right.
Let's see, who's going to go first? 10 of hearts. It is Frank Beard,
Frank Beard.
who only has 3 shots left in his Winchester. Look at all those moves. That's rubbish. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Right, I'm going to play my Desperado card, which allows me to re-roll any set of dice. So I'm just going to re-roll those because that's rubbish.
Yeah.
That's a bit better. 1, 2, 2, 4, 2 6s. Right, I'm going to have a bit of a think. Back in a second. Right, so the plan is to use the 1 to move, and I have selected a point in the middle of the street, which is over 12 inches away from your big man, Big Bill. I will then use my spot because I'm over 12 inches away, and then I will take an aimed shot at him using my rifle, which means I'll be at +2. So the first thing I need to do, and that will leave me with a 6 to decide what to do with. So the first thing I need to do is roll these to see whether I can get to my desired position. So 5, 10, 12 centimetres.
Yeah.
Let me just measure that and make sure that's okay.
Yeah,
do you reckon?
easily, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so now I'm going to take 1 shot, aimed, which is at +2. 5, so it hits. Thank goodness it was a +2. So you get a dodge. This is on your man, and he fails. So now we're going to roll on the to wound table.
+2 is 3.
That's nothing, I think. Let's have a quick look. Pretty sure that's nothing. Yeah, so that means no effect. So I'm going to roll my last one as a move to try and get back into cover.
Yeah.
5 centimetres. So I will move myself 5 centimetres to cover, and then that will be his turn. Ooh. Right then, who's next? Oh,
Big boy McCoy.
I thought that was my chance to knock him out of the game then with my aimed rifle shot.
With his 1 dice.
So you can claim
6.
one of your action dice back. Fantastic. Now you're up to 2 dice, same as Tallulah.
Yeah. Right, next.
You get 1 shot there. 10. Goodness me. You get them all.
This is the boy.
Yep. 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 5. Oh, 1, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 even. 1, 1, 2, 5, 5, 6. I can't even read. Do you want to think?
Well, these are going to be a move.
Where are you moving to? Because if you want to stop, you have to kind of like say, I'm going to stop here.
Right.
Otherwise, you just run straight past it, I think.
Right, okay. And use the first dice to run out to here.
Okay. Do that. Yep, he definitely gets there, and I'm going to use my bonanza to interrupt.
Right.
So you run out, stop where you were going to stop anyway, and then I'm going to do my bonanza.
Yeah.
So that was your first move dice, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I've got one move dice left.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll these. So I get, oh, look at all those shots, and I've only got 2 shots, but that's good. So I've got a 3, and I can shoot, and then whatever, and move if I want to. Right, so I'm going to take an aimed shot at you. Okay?
Right.
So it's +1 only, because I've got a shotgun.
Yeah. No.
It's rubbish. So that's my aimed shot.
Yeah.
I'm going to take one more shot, because I may as well, because you're right in my face. 6!
6.
Get the dodge. Dodge
Yep,
successfully.
dodgy.
Now this is where I get confused, because it says you will dodge into cover. So do you dodge back out? And I don't think you lose any of your things. So we'll just have a quick chat and work out what we do with this, because I think from reading the rules I know what we do. I'm going to have a quick chat with Steve about it. Yeah. So what we're saying is that Steve's dodged back into cover, but he still has all of the unused dice. Now I also have a move, so I'm going to roll 2 dice to see whether I can get the hell out of dodge as part of this interruption. I get a 4, which means I can go 8, 10, so I'm going to see how far 10 centimetres gets me, but it's not going to be far enough to escape Steve's wrath, I don't think. Okay, so decisions have been made. So we realise that he's actually pinned as well because of that successful dodge. So what are you going to do now with your remaining?
I'm going to take my move to remove the pin.
Okay, I'll do that for you. Get that pin out of the way.
I'm going to take... I need to spot your rifleman.
Yeah, you can probably lean around that corner I'd have said. So yeah, you don't need to move to shoot me. You'll be able to spot me. I'm within 12 inches, so you don't need a spot, I don't think. And I'm in the open, so you can take 2 shots at me, or 3 shots with that 6.
No, I'm going to take 2 shots, and then I'm going to do a reload.
Okay, cool. Right, so 2 shots at normal, at 0 at flat. A hit.
1 hit.
Oof. A successful dodge, but I am now pinned.
And I'm going to reload. One.
Right, so I'm going to put my pin token on, and that means I'm going to be ducked back round the corner of the church right out of the way there. Goodness me, that was exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so who's going to go next?
Oh.
Ha!
Right.
Slow coach. He's going to come and murder Tallulah. 1 shot left.
Yeah.
6, 3, 4, 4, 5,
Loads
5.
of shots, but only 1 bullet.
Yeah, and unfortunately you can't reload when you're in line of sight of an enemy. I got told off about that in the comments in the last video.
All right.
So
okay.
you need to be... So you could take 1 aimed shot, which will be at +3, and then you're probably going to wipe her out anyway.
Right, okay. So 1 aimed shot. They're all going to be useless.
Well, no, because you could, if you don't kill her, you can move out of the way and reload yourself 3 times.
Well, I've got no move.
You can turn that into a 1.
Yeah, but then I can't reload.
You can. You reload on 4s or 5s.
Oh, right. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can take a shot, an aimed shot, which is at +3 now. So that's a 6.
6.
So I need to do a dodge. Actually, yeah, now I'm at -1 on a dodge because I'm pinned.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I do not dodge. So you roll on the effect table. 5.
Plus
but
3.
+3, so it's an 8. So that is a critical wound. So roll on the critical wounds table. So roll once more. 4 is a head wound. An additional spot dice required and 2 action dice permanently. She goes down. She has no action dice. So
Right.
Tallulah is no more. So you can now reload 3 times, or 4 times even.
What, without moving?
Without moving, yeah.
All right.
Or you can move. It's up to you.
Okay. No, I'm
Can I
gonna...
reload 4 times? So you go
Yeah.
up to 5.
No, because
No,
I fired
yeah, you
one.
shot. Yes, of course,
Yeah.
up to 4. Yeah, cool. Well, that was successful, wasn't it? Right,
So is she dead or?
yeah,
just-
she's down. Well, she's dead or unconscious. She's out of the game. I've got no dice. I can't. How can I get my shock pool back?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Right, so who's going to play next?
Tallulah
So that can just be discarded.
and
Right.
Butterbar.
Butterbar, who's unloaded. Right, so I need to change my battery. Back in a second, and I'll roll my dice. So we've just had a look at the ride or die test. I am very, very close to breaking. I just need to actually just have one. I need to have 2 dice in the shock pool, or 1 die. That's all I need to have. So yeah. So let's. Oh, actually, I just shuffled, and wasn't it supposed to be Butterbar's turn? It's not turn 6 yet, is it?
No.
Sorry, I apologise. It's not turn 7 yet. It's the end of turn 6. I'm sorry. I went and changed the dice. It's been a few minutes. Went and changed the battery. So I'm going to roll for Butterbar.
Yeah.
But I'm not yet. If I get 2 in the shock pool or whatever you, then that's me at the end of the turn, and I'll maybe break. So we've got 2 6s, 3 6s, 3 4 5. Right. I'm going to have a quick think about that. I'll be back in a minute. Right, decisions that we made, they may be foolish, but whatever. So I'm going to reload twice. So that's those 2 can be reloaded twice. So I now have, I have shoved 2 shells into my shotgun. I'm going to take one of my 6s, turn it into a 1, and that is going to be my first move. And I'm going to need to get a fairway. If I can get 2 6s here, it's enough.
Right.
So 5, 10, that's going to be 12. So
Yeah.
I will see how far I get and see how far more I need. Yeah, I didn't really get very far. So we're going to now take another 6 and turn it into another single move dice. And pray that we get a 6 on this. Oh, I saw the 6 then. Did you see the 6?
No, I didn't
saw
see
the
the
6.
6.
I saw the 6.
I saw no 6.
And it rolled off it. Right, so that's rubbish. So I get to move another 5 centimetres. This is not going to work. I was 1 or 2 centimetres off being able to take a shot without needing a spot dice. But I'm not able to take a shot without needing a spot dice. And I've got left a 6 and a 3. My 3 was an aim. My 6 was going to be my shoot. I'm now going to have to use my 6 as another move and try and not be completely, I'm completely and utterly exposed. It was a terrible decision. But you only live once. And Barliman is pretty angry about both Mrs. Smith, and he's heard the scream of Tallulah after that barrage of gunshots. So he's pretty angry. So he's going to turn that 6 into another move. And yeah. Okay, another 2. I am rolling bombs. Right, so he's going to move another 5 centimetres, and that 3 is going to be wasted. So I'll get that done, and then we'll come back to see who's going to move. Oh, actually, to do move turn 7.
Then we're
going to move to turn 7. I was born ready, mate. Turn 7.
10.
Goodness me. 2 shots in your 6 shot. A Barliman's kind of like stumbling around in the street. You get 2 6s, a 5, 2 3s, and a 2. Do you have a minute to think?
Yeah, just a minute.
So he's going to lean around the corner and take shots at the man Butterbar, who is in the middle of the road. So you've got 2 aims, 1 shot, and 2 6s.
Shots.
Yeah, I mean in terms of dice, and then 2 6s. You can do 2 shots if you want.
So it can be another shot,
Okay.
and that can be a reload.
Okay, so it's going to be. Is it going to be a double aimed shot or 2 single aim shots?
It's going to be a double aim shot,
And then 1 reload after that. So you've got 1, so you've got 1 dice, which is plus 2, 1 dice. And then 1 dice, which is plus none. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
or are you going to?
I'm over 4 inches.
Yeah, you're over 4 inches. Yeah, so you're going to do.
The double aim shot is plus
2. You're over 4 inches, so it's going to be plus 2, not plus 3 this time. You're plus 1 for being within 4
Right.
with the pistol, isn't on this one.
You only get plus 1 for the
You get plus 1 per aim.
aim,
Yeah.
so it's plus 2.
Plus 2, yeah. 6, so that's a hit. So I get to do a dodge. I fail my dodge, so you get to roll on A 3, which is, can't remember.
2 is
5. So that is a shock pool, I think. Or is it a permanent wound? We'll have a quick look. Yep, so that's just 1 into my shock pool, but you have another shot which is unaimed, so it's just a flat dice.
Yeah.
2, that's a miss.
Okay.
Do I get a pin for that 5? I think I do. I'll just double check.
No, I don't think you do.
Do you not get a pin?
I think you said a pin.
Let's have a quick look. There is no pin. So who's going to go next? You need to get 1 more shock onto him and I'm out of the game. Or I might be out of the game. Oh dear, right. So he is. He's around the back.
He's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. 1, 1, 2, 4, 4, 5. So 3 dice, move, see how far you get.
Oh,
5, 10, 12.
rubbish.
So he gets to go 12. He's gone back to being his slow coach. He had a brief moment of excitement when he saw Tallulah. He thought, I can take on a woman. But now he's going up against a bearded man in a trench coat. He's a bit worried about whether the man's wearing anything underneath the trench coat, isn't he? So is that a Winchester in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? So he is not within 1 inch of our passerby, so you are not going to get smacked in the face.
And I'll reload.
That's a good idea, reload twice, yeah. Cool. Right, so who's going to go next? Goodness me.
Wow.
I shuffled these.
You shuffled them.
So you got 2 dice. A 6 and a 3, so you can get another one back. You're recovering your shock. Brilliant. Right, who's going to go next?
Well, it ain't going to be one of mine, is it?
No, I think... Oh, right, yeah. So that's not bad. So it's going to be Frank. So... What a terrible roll. 2 6s. Oh no, 2 2s, a 3 and a 1. So I could do my 1 to move, to get into sight. And I can... Right, I'm just having a quick look at line of sights and stuff. I'll be back in a second. So I want to hit your man back here. So I'm going to move back a little bit if I can, which is just going to be to about here. So I need to roll more than 2 1s, and I'll do it. And then I'll take an aimed shot with my rifle, which will be at +2. So that's my plan. So let's get some rolling done. So it's going to be use my it's 30 centimeters it's over 12 inches, and I've got a spot as well. So we're going to roll 2 dice. I need more than 2 1s. Yep. So I get back to my position. So let's just move myself back there, because I'm probably going to be stranded back there. I then have a spot and a spot. So the spot, I need 2 spots for this. I have a spot for that in the way, and I have a spot for being over 12. So I've got enough spots for that. And then I'm going to take an aim, and I'm going to take a shot.
Yep.
And this is at +2.
Yep.
Come on, Beard. Come on, Frank. Do it good for me. Gets a 6.
6.
Oh, so you're going to have a dodge. Amount of times I've... Oh, look at that.
Dodge.
And you dodge. That's it. So you dodge out of line of sight, and there's not much else I can do. So that's me. How annoying. Right, so the last one is going to be Butterbur, isn't it? So let's just roll Butterbur.
Yeah.
Huh. 5 5 5 4 6.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm gonna have to do this. So I'm gonna do roll 2 dice move to try and get so I can take an aim at someone. So that's 8, 16, 20. So we're going to move 20 centimetres.
There you go.
Thank you. 20 centimetres is going to be enough to get me around here, yep, so I can get to there. And then I'm going to blast you with both barrels across the street.
Right.
Right, so 2 shots, just flat, no aims, empty both barrels at you. 6 and a 4, 1 hit. So you get a dodge.
Yes.
Successful.
Okay.
Oh, so that's the end of that turn. I'm out of, yeah, so we will quickly have a look at the ride or die. I think we're okay because I've only got 1 in the shock pool. So we'll shuffle the dice and we will shuffle the cards and move on to turn 8. Right, so Steve says he's going to ride for the hills. He has had enough and wants to run away.
I had enough.
He's been scared off by a bunch of shopkeepers.
I have achieved my objective.
He's been scared off by a bunch of shopkeepers. That's what's happening, whatever he says. So Steve is going to ride for the hills, which is going to end the game. So who were you attempting to put out of action?
Mrs. Smith.
Oh, and I was attempting to put your big boy out. Big boy McCoy. So I got so close.
So close.
I got so close to taking him down, and then
but no cigar.
A bunch of terrible shooting decisions, like shooting into the air, shooting into the ground by my feet. Well, well played.
What do you expect if you use a shopkeeper?
Well, I got quite close.
Yeah.
We were both discussing then about the dodge thing being very kind of OP, I think. Let's sit down on the sofa and have a little bit of a chat to camera to analyse our feelings, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah. As I say, good game.
Yes. No, it was a good game.
I was when you were down to 1 action dice, and I was like, he's going to go. He's going to go. One more hit. One more hit, and then it was just dodge, dodge, dodge. He was like a gymnastics.
Yeah, well,
backflips over bullets.
Bad Dan McGraw got in the way and saved him.
Yeah. It was good. I enjoyed it. I say it's frustrating, that dodge thing. I think there's so many times both of us had dead to rights. Like you had me dead to rights through that window from behind.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually thinking whether there's an attack from behind rule, so we might have missed something there.
Yeah.
That could be something that we missed.
I think there just needs a bit of nuance in the dodge.
Yeah. Because 4s or 5s if you're in 4, 5s or 6s if you're in cover, 5s or 6s if you're in the open for a successful dodge. I mean, rolling well, you're going to dodge 1 time out of 3, which is quite a lot. And we rolled quite well on our dodges this turn, I think, as well.
Yeah,
this game.
we did. I think you could, close range, you could perhaps have a minus to that, taking it down to a 6.
Yeah, because you get because within 4 inches with a pistol, you get the +1 on the shot, but you're not having any impact on the dodge.
No.
And if someone walks out behind you and puts a gun to the back of your head, which is basically what you did, you lean through the window and press the gun against my head. How am I dodging that?
Yeah.
I mean, even in a cowboy film, how are you dodging that?
Yeah.
I think the excuse I gave was I had a big hat and you just pointed it at the wrong part of my hat, didn't I? But that's silly. You shouldn't have to do mental gymnastics like that. But other than that, I thought that was really good fun, and I really enjoyed actually playing 3 like a as horde as you're going to get.
Yeah.
That was quite fun.
It's, need to read up on the henchman thing.
I believe you can spend dollars to get henchmen, and they act as a group.
Right.
And they have 6 dice, and they're kind of. I think they're potentially more useful in the in the campaign. So, unfortunately, Steve lives about 7-8 hours drive away from me. So we don't get to see each other as much as we want and play as much as we want. So a campaign would probably be a challenge. There is a chance we might be able to get it done if we ever get to spend more than 2 or 3 days in the same building. We could maybe do a campaign, and that would be fun actually. Because with a campaign, what you do is you start off with very low level characters. So 1 shootist, 1 greenhorn. Yeah. And then as you go through the campaign, you start to kind of accrete more characters and earn money and so and that's when you can get henchmen. Your legendary actions can attract.
Yeah. So I could recruit another greenhorn into my band.
Yeah, I mean, we could, if we want this to be a campaign, we can have a look at that. Yeah, let's have a look at the campaign and see what would happen with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've lost 2 greenhorns dead. I can't believe it. Can't believe you killed both my women. It does show what an evil bunch of evilness they are. They didn't actually go after the men. They just went and particularly
we
that
are
slow
Slytherin
coach.
men.
You are.
Particularly
that slow coach one, who was slow until he saw the woman on her own, and then ran at high speed to her, shot her in the face, and then went slow again when he was about to run towards men.
Yeah.
I reckon he should get the cowardly trait for that.
He certainly doesn't like women.
No, cowardly misogynist.
Yeah.
But anyway, really enjoyed that. And again, it's fantastic to play with you because I don't get to play games very much, so I really appreciate it. And it's nice to make use of all the terrain that I spend so much time and effort putting together.
Yeah, we didn't make much use of the townsfolk.
No.
Except for the woman who smacked Delula in the face.
And then ran away, yeah. And we didn't get to go into the strip club, which is a shame because I did put some strippers in there. So the strippers are still there doing their thing.
Yeah, well, we were coming through. I thought it was most unfair that I was just walking down the street to go and get a drink. Mr. Innocence. And then you opened fire on me.
Frank Beard takes a long shot and misses. You mean?
Yeah.
Completely misses. He wasn't shooting at you, he was shooting at a pigeon.
Yeah.
He may as well have been.
Right.
Right then. So let's wrap that up. Thanks ever so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Don't know when we'll get the next one of these in. We're probably not going to get 2 games today, unfortunately. This has taken a lot longer than expected. And I think we've pretty much run out of time, haven't we, unfortunately?
Yeah.
But yeah, as soon as we can get another game in, we will and we'll film it again because I really enjoy these films. But yeah, well played. It's 1-1. We need another game.
1-1,
because
yes,
we need
indeed.
to have our tiebreaker. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you ever so much for watching. And as always, to everyone, please stay healthy, stay safe, and stay well.